Well, good afternoon, guys and girls. Doug at Lakeside Ranch. Hope everybody's doing well. Everybody's having a good weekend. I had some time. It's a hot day, and so I came inside, turned on the AC, and working on a antique, very unusual miniature lathe. This is a piece that I was given by a member of the Garage Gang. Those of you that watch my channel know the story. This thing has great sentimental value to me for that reason, and I thought I'd take you along. I'm going to start pulling this thing apart for a restoration. So I'll add some music to this probably. I don't want you to get bored with the stuff, but for the work we're going to do today, we're basically using some model building tools, believe it or not, because the parts on this machine are extremely small. So one of the things we're going to be using, and I'm pretty sure we can get you a shot of that, there we go, are some ball head drivers, little tiny guys. This one happens to be 1.5 millimeter. These things are made by this company, and I like these a lot. They do a real good job on the small set screws and what have you. So there you go. That's probably a little bit better. Okay, the other item is just a plain, it's actually a miniature screwdriver set that has interchangeable tips that are housed in this little guy here. And these fit all the way down to your tiny eyeglass screws, that sort of thing. They're really cool for the radio control engines. Use these things quite a bit. So I got the specs on so I can see what I'm doing, and let's get started. I'm going to turn this thing around so you guys can see what's going on. There, and we got the truck in the background for mail call, and we've even got the 57 sitting over here keeping me company, because I haven't spent much time in here, so things have pretty much, you know, they kind of land where they land, and I haven't been touching them, so they're still there. So in any case, first we're going to remove the end cover, because I'm curious to see what kind of condition the gear train and the drive belt are in. So we've got a very simple pulley mechanism inside here, and this screwdriver I'm using unfortunately is not magnetic, so we'll have to deal with that. And this by no means is a how-to video. I've never owned one of these machines before. I have done some research online, and there is a company in the UK that has a considerable amount of information about how these operate and the history behind them, including the company, because these things were originally manufactured in California, and the company has been out of business for many years. So okay, first off, things are looking pretty good here. I can see the gears are in fantastic condition, and you can see here, let me get you a little light here. There is a open electric motor at the bottom, which drives a stepper pulley via a neoprene belt. And from that, behind that, we have a bunch of clock gears, is what I would describe them as, made out of brass. And what that allows is for this headstock to move in and out, and gives the lathe 2 speeds. So that's pretty innovative, considering this thing was built in the 40s. So this company wasn't around for a real long time, but this thing was touted as the world's smallest miniature lathe. So okay, I like what I'm seeing here. This thing will be rewired, and I am going to pull the mechanicals out of it, clean them thoroughly, and then systematically reassemble this thing. So just give you a little up close view of the innards. That's probably a little bit dark. And okay, I think maybe that'll go softly. Give you an idea of what we're trying to do here. Yeah, the camera is having a A little trouble picking that up, but we'll take you off the tripod. I'm sure it'll probably be a little bit better. This entire unit is constructed of cast, excuse me, cast aluminum, which is in excellent condition. So we'll do this in a bunch of steps, but I wanted you to get an idea here as to what we're doing. So there, that'll probably give you a little better view of it as far as the details concerned. And maybe if we go this way, kind of difficult in the dark to get the angle right here for you, but effectively, you can see the motor assembly connected at the bottom there, mounted on a couple of pieces of threaded rod. And this machine, as near as I can tell, is completely original. I don't think anybody's ever been in here, so it's really it's a pretty remarkable piece. So, okay. All right, let me get on to the next piece. I'll bring you back. Okay, folks, we're back. Through the magic of video, we have replaced the power cord. I've inspected the motor wiring and tested the switch. All the motor wiring is in good condition. The switch is operating. The motor is free to turn. And I think we're ready to plug this into some AC and see what happens. So let's go to that step, see what we got. You know, Murphy's Law prevails. When you need a power strip, you can't find one. But we're back. And listen to that. We have ignition. Now let's add the drive belt and see how we do with the headstock. Okay. We want to run this thing in slow speed. So there we go. It works. And if it's operating properly, we'll have, I've got an envelope under here to keep the resonation down a little bit. I should probably put it on a clock, but okay. If you guys can see this, but the lead screw is turning, which is powered by that gear in the back there. I'm pretty impressed with this thing. If we engage it, I think the power feed will work also. There we go. You can see the hand wheel turning right there in the light. The carriage is feeding toward the headstock as we speak at a very slow rate of speed, because this thing is in, the spindle is actually operating in low range. And then to change it to high range, we simply slide this back, and then this thing will take off. Actually, that's the low. That would be the low speed. So, success. Now it's just a matter of disassembling it, cleaning it, and returning it to its original state, so it'll operate. So, cool little conversation piece. Really interesting piece of history. So, it's a good time. And thank you all for watching. This will give you a little better view. I got some light here now. I apologize, at the beginning of this it was kind of dark, you couldn't really see what was going on, but that is the headstock shaft, which is what the chuck screws onto. And then below that is the driven pulley, which turns the gears located behind there, and you can basically see there they are. And those are actually cut of brass, which is pretty impressive considering you know, the size of this thing. And down here on the motor we have a stepper pulley. So this thing, because it has a hollow bottom, you can see the white paper on my desk. There's the white envelope. Well, the white is catching the debris, but depending on which position on that stepper pulley we go with, that changes the spindle speed. It slows it down even more. So we've got two speeds up here because the actual spindle here moves in and out. And by moving it in and out, what it's doing is it's changing, like in a transmission going from first to second, it's pulling this out so that the gear reduction is taken over. So I'm very impressed with this little machine. This thing is amazing. And we're talking about a machine that's not even 10 inches long. So it's very, very small. There's an overall view of it on the desk. That's how little this thing is. And it's, yeah, it's very cool. I can't wait to make some needle valves for my RC engines with this thing. So, I'll get back. Thanks for watching. Operating in low speed on the smaller pulley. The upper driven pulley is one size, of course, and the secondary gears are not turning at this time. We'll engage those, and this thing will change speed. And there we go. Now we have the headstock shaft spinning at a different RPM because it's driven through that. The gear behind that you see going very slowly is the gear that drives the lead screw, which, if I can get this thing to focus, there we go. There's the lead screw right there. And the lead screw's job is to move the carriage, which if you get a little better angle here, there you go. You can see the lead screw handle is turning by itself, unassisted by me. My hands are on the camera. Anyway, pretty cool little machine. And the overview, right now I have a hex nut screwed on to the headstock just to protect the threads while I'm playing with this thing. The chuck is in the other room, and I'm going to leave it there for the time being. But yeah, so there you see it operating, and you can hear it. It runs on its own power, and the service switch located here shuts it down. Okay, I'd call it a win. Thanks for watching.